Hi everybody. As you know, I mostly do diecast cars, and I'll mostly uh, most of my videos are about diecast cars. And I know my title says electronics, so I want to do some electronics today. Uh, as much as I like Hot Wheels, I like electronics. I like the old stuff um, mixed with the new stuff is okay because oh, what is new electronics? What you gonna buy out of electronics that it's different from back then? And the thing is, mostly everything is digital. It's on your phone, on everybody's phone, because that's the as of that now, it's what everybody uses is their phone for everything, and that's the main thing for everybody because it's like everything all in one convenience, of course. And but I like the old stuff. Old stuff is great. I mean, when you pop a cassette and you hear it, it brings it, it brings back memories and or a record or something that you hold in your hand, which is physical. I like digital, but as they've been saying, digital is good and you have the sound, but it's compressed and you lose a lot of its uh, it, it's just you lose stuff in digital because of it, because the file is compressed and you have something that's analog like a record player, cassette. And even though the cassettes, if you don't properly store them, or they say they'll last um, a certain amount of time, or playing a certain amount of times that you'll lose. And this is, I got cassettes from back from the 70s and 80s, and they haven't they sound great from the time you bought them. So it's how you store them. Some are bad because people and I bought them. I buy them used, of course. So and they lose their sound, but they still work. Records, of course. They said if you play them over and over and over certain times, um, you'll lose some of the some of the sound or whatever. And of course, CDs is digital. I love CD. When I went shopping for a car, I I made sure I don't like the new cars, specifically because they don't have CD players. uh, they don't. It's just a screen, and you touch your phone. Okay, I understand. So I bought an older car, a 2015 Scion TC, which is a Toyota product, and it's a nice, and I know it's gonna last long. It has a CD player and it has a screen, and it has Bluetooth and everything. And it doesn't have that start stop crap. I hate the start stop. And it's kind of old school. It doesn't have. It's not overwhelming as much as a car with like a Tesla. It does this for you. It it does things for you. It has a screen, two screens, and screw that. My car works, gets me to my job and back, and I have fun in it. And to me, buy a newer car is with that technology. Yes, it's electronics, and I love it, but I not to the point where there's no buttons, there's no feel to it. It's like boring and stuff like this. This is a Pioneer detachable face, of course, and it's a older model. I don't remember the year, but it has a USB here. It has a CD player. It changes color. It has mixed track. I wish I could plug it in. I don't have the things to plug it in, but it changes color. I like the rotary knob. It sounds great. Uh, of course, it has the hookups for your front amp and your subwoofer, front and rear, and of course all your speaker connections and stuff. And it's stuff like this that I like. I prefer this over a screen that you could push, because this, I think it's, I don't know. You have a physical button to touch. You have a rotary knob to touch. I'm not. I could drive and push up the volume, and I know some cars have the volume on the steering wheel, but they also have the tuning knob on there too. And I have to look down to make sure. Well, I could just reach over here and just touch the knob and just turn it without looking. I can't say the same thing with the buttons because I have to look what button I'm pushing in. But excuse me, at least I could turn the volume up. And I think at night when it lights up, it changes color, it does this, does that. And you have like, I could pop in my CD because I have CDs. I love putting a CD in there. I don't care if I have, a stack of them in the car. I have my CDs and I could play them. Opposed to looking at my phone and choosing some. I'm not looking on the road, if you have a CD change, they have the CD changers where you have multiple CDs attached to stuff. So this Pioneer, I love them. This one I found, they said it was broken. I took it apart, cleaned the laser, the optical laser, make sure everything was good, gave it a nice cleaning inside. Make sure I had to buy a new plug because the old one was bad. So I bought the new plug and it works great. It turns on, it works great, it sounds great. Am I gonna put it in the car? Maybe if I find like an older car. I'm looking for an older pickup, and maybe I'll just stick it in there. They don't make them like they still make them with the newer models, but this one has like the level meters and everything, and they don't do that much anymore. And these Pioneers are awesome with the detachable face, of course. The other physical type of media I like is records, and this record player, and I have multiple record players. I have a Pioneer Quartz direct drive record player, which is awesome. And it's like all the time someone says it's broken, I don't want it, doesn't want to work. And it's always with the needle and the turntable. Well, the turntable worked, but the needle didn't. I just went online. I bought. Someone had the original Pioneer needles, the stylus, the diamond tip needles, the diamond tip stylus. I'm sorry. I got it, put it on. It works great. That's my main record player. I got a Sony belt driven. Another person said it didn't work, so I bought the belt and it works fine. I have Marantz record players. Same thing. I bought the belt. I bought a new stylus for it, diamond tip, because it did have a ceramic one with it, and it works great. And I guess it's just because people don't pay attention too much to them. But I got 3 great record players: Pioneer, Sony, and Marantz. Pioneer being my number one, and the Marantz is good, but the Sony is good too, and they all work well. And I recently found this kenwood, right here. I know it's big and you can't see that well. This is a Kenwood automatic return turntable model KD21RB. This is belt driven. it did not have a belt. The guy told me that because he didn't know the size of the belt. I have a stack of belts, different sizes. I put one on there. It works great. It's a thing is the hinge. I'm missing a hinge, so I should find one on eBay to replace the hinge back there. Um, this is a pack of needles, stylus. I'm sorry, keep calling them needles. Stylus that the guy gave me. I think this is the stylus, and they're not. They're these red ones here. They're ceramic stylus. Um, uh, this pack here, they'll cost you like $8 for a pack of 5, and that's how cheap the ceramics are. Um, yeah, and the difference between what stylus you need. I also have these. These are diamond tip stylus, and the difference between these and well, this is a little bit much better stylus. Let me show. Sorry, I'm gonna put them right here. You can't tell, or someone will not. How do I tell they're ceramic ones? Well, when you buy them, and this is a ceramic one. Um, they're so small, but this is a ceramic stylus. Flimsy plastic, something a Crosley will use. Not all Crosleys. Victrolas sometimes use them. They also use a sapphire needle, and people think, and people say, think, oh, it's a sapphire. No, it's no, not the same. Um, Ceramic ones are cheaper, and the one on the Marantz, the one before the ceramic one, this the this little metal arm here was all plastic. Um, Not all plastic, but it was mounted on plastic. The guy gave me these thinking they were from the record player, and they're not. Like I said, you get a pack of 5 for like $8 on eBay because they're ceramic. Ceramic ones are cheaper. Not to say they're bad, but you'll hear the different quality between a diamond and a ceramic and a sapphire. So, what is better? The diamond, of course. And these diamond tip, gold color has to do nothing. Some people say that the reds are ceramics and whatever. No, because some red stylus are diamond tip. The difference is $8 for a pack of 5. I paid, I think, $20 for a pack of 2 of this diamond ones. 2-pack. But I bought these for the I looked up the number of this stylus, of this tone arm, which is this here, and came up with this, but they're not it, unfortunately. So I consulted a record store man who does has record players and stuff, and I in my needle here, it's an Audio Technica, and this is an Audio Technica style tone arm with the head. You could change the head out. You could see here. Sorry, you could take the head out and change it, which I'm gonna end up probably doing because this stylus here, which is an Audio Technica, they're expensive because you hardly don't find them, or they don't make them this style for this record player or turntable. I'm sorry, turntable. And that's the thing. So I'm gonna have to change this head here, which it you could unscrew it here, and the head will pop out, and you have to carefully take off the three or four wires here. Disconnect them. When you get the new one, you pop it in, and make sure all the colors go together, and you have like a more common needle you could use, like this, like these gold, these gold ones here. What makes a good turntable? Oh, let's see. People say, let me show you. This is a good turntable because it has a metal disc at the bottom. This is metal. Most of the old ones, like Kenwood, Pioneer, they all make they make these plastic, like the newer ones, like Ions and the Crosley's and stuff, make the metal one. But these older ones have this metal plate with this heavy mat, and you want a rubber mat opposed to a felt. Like, oh, the felt, the softer ones are better. No, they create static, and when you pick up the record, the felt comes up with them. So back then, these older ones always had like a rubber mat. These rubber mats, and they're heavy, with this metal or aluminum metal plate down here, which you could see the belt is turning with the motor. Have I had the what's good between direct drive, which is the motors here, which is directly driven on the record player, on the turntable, other than a belt driven, which is this one. You have the motor here, and it turns with the belt on here, on this on the plate. And between the Sony belt driven and the Pioneer, I haven't seen any difference. They both play great, but I seen the Quartz direct drive turntables are a little bit people want them more than the belt driven. But today people will take anything because the older ones record players are much better, more heavier, more nicer. The stylus and the tone arms are much better. They're not plastic, they're metal. And weight on most newer turntables, it's just there's no weight, counterweight in the back. They're just what you call them? It's just plastic in the back with a spring with the screw, so you could adjust how much force you're putting on the record. And like this one has this anti-skid. An anti-skid is when you play a record, the needle's not skidding across the record and it stays still. That's anti-skid. It stays still. There are record players that didn't come anti-skid, and when you play them, the needle will start moving. They start scratching and stuff like that. This one, like I said, I love this. I love the style. If I found a needle, and I'm gonna try my best to find a needle for this, or the stylus for this. Sorry. I haven't heard it. Like I said, this Kenwood. This is a Kenwood. I'm gonna try to find all the parts and see if it works great. Like I said, it's the older record turntables. Like everything, I like to build components like that. There, the components where I have my Pioneer record player, then I have a equalizer and in the middle, It's a stereographic equalizer from Zentrek. I can't read it. Zentrek, I think. My Kenwood receiver. On the bottom, I have my Optimus CD player. I think the one trays are much better than the uh, multi discs. So I love the one trays. That one's an older model and it works great. And I have my dual cassette deck with from also Optimus. It's a Radio Shack brand, and they all work great. Um, they're 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 old. All you have to do it's some are tricky, some are not. Change the belts on the cassette deck, clean the laser on the CD, and you're good to go. Um, but record players, if you see one, Pioneer, Sony, Audio Technica, and they have some other like the fancy brands now. Um, these I love these old ones. They're great. They're get the ones that are automatic. They automatically this one when you push the button down, the needle will go and start on the record. And when it's done playing, it gets to the end, it comes back. And that's what the old ones do. Most of the new ones, you could cue it, but when it comes to the end, it'll just stop. The arm will not return back. Most of all of them except the Marantz doesn't return back, but it'll automatically shut off, so the needle won't be like hitting the middle. I'm not an expert on turntables. I like to see others Recordology. If you go see him, see his videos on. He knows turntables. West's Life. He knows record turntables, and that's where I learned from that because I've been doing turntables lately. But it's the diamond tip stylus are the good ones. Stay away from your ceramics. There's a premium ceramic that you could get. They're not bad, but if you ever see one, grab it and play a record. You'll see that the record, it's more calming, more soothing. Well, to me, and the sound is much better. It's analog. It's not digital, so you're not getting a compressed file where sometimes it'll lose and it's something within the file, within the song that you haven't. Well, I didn't know that was in the song before. No, maybe because it's so compressed that it sometimes it skips something. If you do the analog, like a record where it's not compressed, you'll hear everything. You buy old records, and everything sounds real good. A lot of people are doing new things on records, and they're kind of new medium. I go to Goodwill and buy records. People doing them all the time, and they're good records. And you find like like Pink Floyd and all of them, and they're only $1, $2 at the most. At CDs, at Goodwill is like $1. They even have them for 50 cents. Cassettes, they have them for $1.50. Sometimes I come home with 5 records and I only paid $1.50. I came with like 5 CDs and I paid $2. I have a box of cassettes and I only paid $1.50 for like 12. It's better to hear music that way, but if, like I said, more convenience and more younger people are gonna go for their phone, Bluetooth it, which I know it's convenient, but if you're at home, nothing like CD, cassette, and records. For me, but try it out, compare them. I love the way the record sounds, the little crackling noise and stuff. But this is my electronic video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please